All good?
Yep, there you go.
There we go. All right, let's kick off this Heritage Fest volunteer meeting, April 26th. It is 6:02. We'll get right into it. Committee updates. Looks like sponsor request forms.
That is the one thing that I have not mailed out yet, and I wasn't sure if we were delegating some of that to the Lions who volunteered to reach out to our sponsors, or are we just going to do it ourselves?
Bernie said when we were last here, we talked, it sounded like he was willing to, go around and drum up as much as he can. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
I know there's some complexity now with them moving, but they're still staying on with the Lions from what I understand. So.
All right, I can reach out.
So the answer to that is I'm not sure, but yes, that was an offer. So if we have a list of who we had from before, we can give that to them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I also didn't want to, I just want to make sure we were set with that before, like with them, reaching out to people before you talk to Bernie. I don't know if there's really any other committee updates. I've been getting vendors in. We have 15 vendors, 14 car registrations so far. I guess we can move on to that in the car show update though.
Why don't we go to the next part?
So for the car show registration, we have, and actually vendor registration is online as well now if they want. There's online forms and online payment for car show and sponsorship and vendor booths. The only people I've had register so far online are for car show registration. I've had 4 or 5. But I mailed out registration forms to everyone from 2 years ago when there was no email addresses, or 2 Heritage Festivals ago. I think 2 years ago. And then last year there was email addresses for everyone, so I emailed that to everyone, and we got 15 back so far. And vendors, I emailed everyone for the last 2 years that we had email addresses, and I mailed to everyone that we did not. And we got quite a few back from them too.
Sounded like Zach's got his from the mail, and he only did last year. Did he get his?
I mailed anyone I didn't have the email address for. I mailed. So I definitely mailed one to Zach because I remember their address.
I will say I did the online registration and payment, and it was super easy and nice.
Good. Since I had to make the form myself, I'm glad it worked.
Great, you did good. That's really good. Super easy.
I looked at a few event websites, and they were just charged extra per registration plus the credit card processing. So I just did a PDF web form and hope for the best. But Wayne filled one out before we went live, and I filled one out, and it got emailed directly to me, so we were good.
Oh,
Hi,
speaking of Wayne, ignore my text. You're here. I figured as much.
The other car show update is I put an ad in Cruise and Media magazine, and they were doing a buy 1 month ad, or I think they're bi-monthly. So we did the May, June, and then we got the July, August half off. So we'll have an ad in both of those. So I guess we'll see. That has a QR code on it that takes them right to the registration. So I guess we'll see when that comes out we'll know for next year if it helped or not.
Good.
That's it. Do you have anything else, Wayne, besides what we talked about? Friday? Yeah.
and start to show a bunch of flyers to go out everywhere else. And we're starting on social media now. So
Do we have, I thought before we were kind of tracking like the progression of, we had so many in by such and such a time frame just so we could kind of target what potential there was. Because I remember last year, like, hey, we're X far ahead of where we were before. Or was that more of followers on Facebook, or was that registrations? I'm trying to remember how the conversation went. Yeah.
Yeah, from last year when I was on social media, yeah, definitely see the difference when how many there were from last year. Yeah.
Okay. But were we tracking registrations as they're coming in? Like, we had so many by April, so many by May. So, I mean, just to give us a target.
Hey, if you didn't register, you want to go ahead and register, and then they all kind of filtered through. That's when kind of like we push right here. Let's see if we can have a goodie bags. But now there's what 4 or 5 right here.
I have 15.
50.
Yeah.
So
I'm making note on my Excel sheet, like when I sent the stuff out, and I'll make a note when the cruise and media ad comes out. That way we can just see.
I've got 242. So
Oh,
Good.
yay.
I was at 20 already, and it's not even May.
Awesome.
And that's when the kickoff starts. May, when the car show's gonna kick. So
Right.
that's what I'm doing right now. The car show is like the cruise people, like that run those clubs. Like those are the guys now that got all like their flyers and stuff now because they're putting in their newsletters for the May, because May's like their here's where we kind of sign up for all the cruises throughout the year, car shows, cruises throughout the year.
Right. Okay. Good.
So we are way ahead of the curve.
I hope so. I think if everyone gets this on their calendar, it's better.
We have flyers already made out.
Mm-hmm. I can get it for you. Do you want me to get you some copies of it?
I helped one catch out a ton of them last year.
Yes, if you want to print, I mean, yeah, you're good at print, whatever, if you want to print.
Yeah, I have it on my desk, so I can just make a few copies, or however many copies you want before we leave.
I'm assuming this year you're gonna need help again, like last year, going to shows and getting them dropped off, right? Okay.
Yep, and that's kind of what we're gonna do on Friday.
Yeah.
Angela and I were gonna kind of do that next step, right, and after that, out, like, what's the next real big push that we can start doing, like, kind of, like that kind of stuff, shows, ordering dash plaques, start, figuring out board stuff, we already talked about.
Yeah, I did sit down with Janaea a little bit to talk about the start of all of that. So she has.
Well, and then you're gonna reach out to the metal shop again, so we're gonna talk about those guys again, so that we have that on our list.
Yeah. Yep.
I got a lot of feedback on the trophies from last year. Everybody loved them. They liked them better than the plaque. The piston things with the clock in them, I mean, those are, that's kind of a little better than the plaque. And everybody kind of really appreciated it. So, I don't know what the cost was on them. I know Wayne made them up. So
Wayne worked his magic on those.
Well, and that's kind of what we were talking about when we were doing like the math on it. I mean, that's kind of what we were trying to figure out on Friday, like again, what's the most cost effective way to go. Because we were trying to stay again at that budget, if we could do that under, I know originally last year he was talking like $20. If we could do $20 at the machine shop and he could use that as fill work, that was one of the thoughts. Obviously the clocks are easier because, all the parts obviously were donated. That's just time washing them and cleaning them and going and order them on Amazon, so those were really cheap. I mean, those we could get 10 for, it was like 10 for, I don't know, it was like $30,
Get pistons from somewhere again?
Yeah, I'm sure they'd donate them, yeah. And
Okay.
then I know, Angela did all the engraving in Paul's place, so, which, again, that's probably not ideal, but again, we wanted to use the machine shop or something
It's
of
okay.
that nature, right?
Yeah.
But that's kind of what we were trying to figure out, is like, see, could the machine shop do it, first of all, and what the cost would be, and then, like you said, then this would be like secondary way of doing awards would be, just doing the whole meeting kind of stuff, like the rat rod guys like that kind of stuff.
They love that.
It turned out awesome.
Right. Speaking of awards, did we ever get an answer on, or really the last 2 years, the appreciation plaques for the sponsors? Did we look into that?
As far as I know, they have not been given out.
Have they been made?
Well, Janaea just took ownership of it, so she said she would look into it, but she said she can see invoices from there, but she can't say with certainty if they were fulfilled or what happened.
Do we show that we paid them on our end?
She said all she can see is open invoices, but she would have to confirm with the previous owner if they were made, if they were paid.
Like, can you check on our end and see if we did send a check
Yep.
out? I remember approving it,
Yep.
but I don't.
Yeah, because by then, I remember he told her he was gonna make them, and then she was gonna follow and approve the proofs, and that was the last that we all got cut off those emails.
Right.
I don't know where they would be if they were done, though.
I have no idea either.
She would have to pick them up.
Right.
and deliver them, so
Right.
she would never made it.
Yeah.
It's, what is it?
I forget. Is it the same name as the one
Yeah,
before?
yeah.
What was it? All-Star something or no?
It's like
Yeah.
custom awards or awards, creative
Creative
awards.
I
That's
couldn't
what
remember if
it
it was
is.
All-Star Awards or Creative
I'm
Awards.
really good friends with Janaea. I can just text her and
So-
I'll just have to go down there and we'll have to call
I can
who
look and
was.
see if we ever wrote a check too.
Right, find that out. So the business transferred hands at the end of kind of last year, beginning of this year.
Yeah.
But at the time frame when the orders were supposed to be placed for the awards, when all hell broke loose last year. So I don't know. And then last year was also supposed to pay for the year before because we made that decision of all those shirts that were left over. We were giving out awards for 2021 too. So
Yeah, I can just go down there. She said like there's proofs for everything, which obviously you knew. But she wasn't the one that was there, so.
didn't, and I guess it's a moot point. But if we did, we'd need awards from somewhere. At least get the 22s out. All right, thanks. Anything more to the car show?
I don't think we have anything else. I'll make copies of the flyers and we just have registrations coming in, which is awesome.
Yeah, we just kind of dropping all the information everywhere now. So,
Yeah.
And then there, some of like some have already responded, they're setting up for kids and stuff like that. Nothing, I mean, obviously, then again, that's what we're gonna kind of talk about too, is like that Friday's like the goodie bag stuff. We
Mhm.
want to start kicking those off, that kind of stuff, so it's just. Like it's really crazy right now, but you go, it's pressing.
No, I would like to stay ahead of it so nothing gets too pressing either. That would be ideal, right?
Well, we're ahead of the game now where we were before. So, I mean, we're what, 3 months ahead on sending out registration.
Yeah.
So,
I guess really the only other one would be the stuff, but we don't even talk about that yet.
Okay.
But again, that's another thing on the list that probably eventually down.
As far as,
all right, so we paid them in September.
$780.
Yeah.
as
So,
far as parking goes on the college, I mean, it seemed last year we got really tight on the parking. Are we gonna do any better this year? Like,
so
I know we moved behind Maria, we kept creeping toward Lake Street and then toward the theater. I mean, are they gonna let us do all that? Because if we get the same amount of cars or even more this year, I mean, we're gonna need more room to park.
So here, I'll cut you off. We're still waiting for an answer back. I was hoping we'd have it
Me too.
soon. But we have actually filed a permit with MDOT to shut Van Dyke down for the day. Yeah. So parking will now be all on Van Dyke and by the pocket park, if that happens. Hey, it's all right. So the good part to that is we won't have a parking issue with the classics, and now we have a whole town available for parking for visitors. So we just need to hear back. Hopefully they're watching, because
And hopefully not an immediate no is a good answer. That's what I
Right.
keep telling myself.
right.
Maybe the fact that they didn't.
Are the what?
Are the Indy cars coming this year?
Yes. So, I mean, that's what I mean. We have that. Is that gentleman bringing his movie cars? The guy from the TV station. So I talked to him last year, the guy who had the General Lee and the other card. He's got about 8 movie cars. He loved the show. And he said, as long as you can get me space this year, I'll bring a whole semi full or a car hauler full. He's got a Batmobile. He's got the car from the convertible from Dallas. He's got the General Lee. He's got a Trans Am. Yeah. So, I mean, he loved the show, and he said he'd be open to bringing a lot more cars. We just have to have the space to do it. So, but yeah, so if we get that okay, that'll solve the world's problems. So, yeah,
So there's
fingers crossed.
good potential to grow even more and be a huge draw for the village if we get that space.
Correct.
Were you able to list that on the application?
No, unfortunately, the application is just what streets, what times, like it's like fill in the blank. But I attached a map, and I attached like as much as I was allowed, with just a little, like,
It's very small.
yeah.
If we
It's like
do
a
get
sentence.
a no, I have no problem reaching out and kind of explaining what the potential could be. And I said that before. I said I think that the village deserves a day that they can walk on Van Dyke, not worry about getting hit by a gravel truck, go to the businesses and enjoy the day. It's only a day. It's a Saturday, so it's not traffic going up north on Friday. It's not traffic coming home on Sunday. It's just a normal day.
So
They do it in Franklin.
I-
They do it in a couple of.
yeah.
They do it at Bad Axe. They do it in Yale. They do it all over. So
I emailed our like MDOT coordinator, and I tried to like explain a little bit after the permit got submitted, and he was like, Pam does the submissions. That's all he said back to me. And I was like, I know.
Don't you
I
love
know.
that?
I know she does, and she did, but just wanted you to hear a little bit from me. So,
how's Pam's heartstrings? Let's tug on
well,
those.
Pam was like, are you sure you want to ask for this big of a time? And I was like, yes, because I feel like then maybe we'll have some negotiating, after. Well, what if we did this? But they haven't immediately said no. So
So
Keep
if
our
that
fingers
happens,
crossed.
that's going to solve all the problems. If it doesn't, we'll make it work. We're moving all the vendors to the west side of Van Dyke. So that means that whole area where it was a cluster before will now have that. There won't be vendors. They won't have horse trailers. None of that's going to be coming in and out of that. It'll strictly be cars.
And I think
Okay.
if we don't have the beer tent in the park, we could probably do the bounce house, the petting zoo, all of that stuff. That'll open up all of that too. So
Spot for that. That'll be able to go there. So yeah, I mean, it's huge potential. I think it'll be good for the.
The amount of cars we had last year show up compared to the year before, it was like 96, it was like 200. I mean, that was, for one, it was amazing. And we were blessed with a good day, and it was a nice and sunny day, so they all came out, and it was parking with a problem. We just kept running out of space.
Mhm.
We were trying to stack them up and make it where everybody can open up the door and know where the car got damaged and going back in each other.
That's the goal. We'll see. I mean, if we get approved for Van Dyke, I mean, car size, I mean, you could have 500 cars easy. So Yeah. Correct. Correct.
how
What-
cool would it be to have cars lined up down both sides of Van Dyke. That would be so cool.
Yep. Yep.
That's what I was just
Yep.
thinking. I don't want
Yep.
to be that person, but that would be an awesome picture.
Yeah, we would be the show that everybody would want to go to. I mean, you thought we're on the map before. They'll design the map around us at that point in time.
And then plus businesses, they're gonna profit from all the people walking up and down the street.
Oh yeah.
I lived in Almont since '76. We actually lived since Almont years ago. And I'm actually seeing this town grow a little more in the past few years. So that'll help all these little businesses out. And, give us more,
Mhm.
a bigger profit, on that weekend where everybody can enjoy it.
Well, that's the goal of the DDA: bring more people and money to the town. So that's the plan. Hopefully everybody's on it. So we're there anyway. All right. Speaking of vendors, so going on to vendors, you want to update on that?
Yeah.
The thoughts for that?
So I was contacted by the Almont varsity cheer coach, and she said that, I don't know the history. So she said that they weren't allowed to do a fundraiser last year. I don't want to start anything. I don't know.
Oh, even Sam's laughing.
But she
Oh.
said she was just reaching out to see if it was possible if they brought in a Kona ice truck for a fundraiser, if that would be something that we would be open to. And she said they would do face painting, they would do anything if we were open to it. So
I think everybody.
Trying to raise
I don't
money
think that
for-
Kona Ice is competing with
Working.
anything.
They're working to raise the money, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not, Charlie Brown's is the next closest, but that's, all the way up around the curve. Yeah. Yeah, Kona Ice is.
Especially
I don't
if
want
we
a
have
Kona Ice, I
Kona
want
Ice,
Charlie Brown's,
if we have all the kids stuff together and we have the Kona Ice truck over there,
Correct.
it didn't.
And face painting, if you want to do face painting, that's awesome.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah, I don't remember how that went down, but I know I'm open to it. I'm fine with it. If the rest of everybody's open to it, then I say yes.
I'm glad
but-
that they feel comfortable reaching out again. I think that that's a big step too. So, well, I was honestly gonna.
Those hot dogs.
I was gonna see how we felt because I would reach out to like athletic boosters and music boosters and whatever and say, because even so I was even talking to Maria's, to Nina at Maria's, and she said she would love to run a food table outside, but she just doesn't have the staff. And if we could find a volunteer organization to partner with her to man the grill or to, take food from the kitchen out and sell it. And I think that we could connect people.
That was Rosa's argument too. She just said she at the time didn't have the staff to man a table out there. But yeah, I think one of the service groups or the kids, I think that's a great idea. Even if they're not making money on it, they're getting their service hours and it's still doing what we're here to do. And that's feed the businesses and the community.
And I honestly think that people, if they're only working for tips, people are going to tip if they know it's going,
right.
to some
Businesses
kind of
keep
cause.
the plate cost and they get
Yeah.
the tips up, whatever it is. I think they'd be open to it. Just have to talk to the businesses.
So if we're open to cheer, I'm going to tell them the Kona Ice is good. And then if we're okay with it, I'm going to start trying to connect businesses with volunteer groups.
I agree. And I think you have to be fair and open it up to everyone at that point. If we're going to let the cheerleaders do it, we got to let everybody do something if they want to. Yep.
I think that's what this event should be, right?
Yep.
It should.
And to that point, instead of having them compete with the businesses,
Right,
have them
help them
support
out.
the business. Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
That's one of the things that I heard from the car show last year, that there was no food around. People seldom get there at 7:00 in the morning, and I know the church does their breakfast and they do a lunch. That church does a really great job doing both, but some are parked way over here. I mean, they're looking for like summer clothes where they can stay, they can still wash their car to get a burger or a hot dog or, you know, a drink or something like that. You know, and that's kind of some of the input I got from them. Like, where's the food? Like, well, church got food, and then, you know, Maria's had food, Mikey's, and, you know.
We have at least 3 restaurants who are going to put tables outside with grab and go food so far, and I think if we can bring in if they don't feel like they have to utilize their own staff and close down or limit their service inside, that there'll be more that hopefully join in. So.
And Angela's reached out to them, potentially grab and go or a specialized menu for the
menu.
day. So that way it makes it a little bit easier. So that way, again, if everything's on Van Dyke and people could drive into the town, I would anticipate that restaurants are going to be very busy with sit down, but people are also going to be busy in and out getting food too. So I think it's going to be a mixture of everything.
And we're still doing food trucks, right?
We have the Polish food truck and Old Time Concessions for sure booked. I have calls out to a ton of people, but
Old Time Concessions, your typical Alphaneers and stuff like that,
it's like
right?
elephant ears, cotton candy, like
Again, you're not
popcorn,
competing with
nachos.
You're not competing with hamburgers and hot dogs and
No,
pulled pork. You know what I mean? So which is good.
Yeah.
And nobody downtown serving pierogies. So
I don't think so.
right. So yeah, they're already committed.
Yeah, they're already
Yeah.
coming. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I spoke with Nikki from Roots and told her our idea, and she said that they were already talking about doing some items on their menu, and I suggested maybe like a chicken meal or burger meal that they could just order and take and go back to their cars so that they're not away from their spot. So it'll be much easier.
I think so
Yeah.
too. And I think if the businesses feel comfortable having tables out there, and if we can partner with service and organizations and sports and people who need, service hours or
Be a
tips
win-win.
or whatever, it would be a win for everyone. And if everyone is benefiting, then
so to that point, I'd like to throw out there, maybe have a downtown DDA map, and on that map, number 1 through whatever. Did you already talk about this?
Yeah,
Sorry, forget about it. I didn't know.
I was
Good
going
minds.
to mention that later on. You're
Oh.
jumping ahead.
I didn't know you talked about it. See? Talk about
but
it
yes.
now.
So we were talking, well, Tricia said, what if we had a map with, all of the vendor sites, what they're,
Give them a letter or a number
Yeah.
and then a key to the map explaining what they're there, what they're offering, and then like listing the restaurants, what their specials are, so that everybody can look and go, oh, they have pulled pork. That sounds good. I'm going to go there. And they're right there. And then any businesses that are going to have specials, sales, what have you.
Right, perfect. I think that would be helpful too, because I think, again, with the car show people, we have, at least 250 cars coming to town. Most aren't from here. So where do I go?
I think if, oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, a lot of them have 2 people in the car. It's just-
Right.
So there's, if you have 200 cars, there's probably 400 people just from the car show, and then you've got the people that come just to look at the car show. So, I mean, it brings in a lot of people. So
Absolutely.
you have a big variety of places they can grab something to eat or go sit down and eat. And, I'm
Right,
sure
yeah.
everyone will be busy.
What was the car count last year, Wayne?
230-ish, yeah.
So we had 500 easy. Because a lot of cars, there's 4 people in there. Just that. Right. So, all right.
And I can make that map. I can do graphics.
And maybe we could do the schedule on like the back, or I don't know how we want to do it, but then everyone has.
Yeah, we could do one on one side, one on the other. I would just make sure that when we do the map, it's the whole DDA area. Just so people, yeah. I mean, if they want to go to A&W or Charlie Brown's, even though it's not centralized, they know they can go there.
Right.
So do we want to talk about the A&W thought?
I think that would
I
be
do.
amazing.
So that's the other thing too, we were talking about for a while, is AEW does their cruise on Friday, you can see that. Fridays are terrible for travel, especially coming north on the day.
Yeah.
And that was one of my thoughts, is if I'm gonna do some of that pushing, again, it depends if they wanna do it or not. If we wanna somehow incorporate them in the show, like somehow, like again, like if we wanna use that as kind of like the kickoff spot before the actual show, or start advertising them as a good cruise day. And again, kind of use that as kind of like drumming up another way of getting people to come out to Almont, go to AEW, know about the show. If they want to participate somehow, like DJ or awards, we could teach them how, get them in the cruise news. Because again, if they're not in those cruise news for the cruise nights, they're off the map. So they're not even getting the publicity they could potentially get. So they're missing a huge amount of people. But again, do we want to help grow them into that, which we could. It depends if, again, we want to sit down with them and talk to them and teach them how to do this. It can help us out and them at the same time.
Me personally, yes. I mean, again, DDA area, if it helps their business thrive, why not? I mean, to that point, it would also help if we ever pull off like we've kind of chatted, a Jeep and ORV night, you know what I mean? It would help with those ideas as well. And I'm all for it if we're willing to do it.
Change like a Wednesday in the cruise news. If they wanted to do a secondary flyer, and they could throw them out there at the same time we throw out the car show ones.
Yeah.
And publicizing at the same time. But just if we won't sit and meet with them, we can do that. Kind of explain it.
Absolutely.
Coming from you and the success with this show, I think you'd be able to sell that concept with them. Sorry, it'd have to be you.
But then I think to your point, that you really didn't know.
Correct. Yep.
Let's go into that in more detail on Friday, and we can make a timeline plan. Yeah, for sure.
That's what I mean. I think that's the thing. People gave an idea. They really didn't know what to do with it.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay.
Who's meeting Friday? Just you two?
Yeah, we were just gonna meet at lunch. I was gonna try to break away from meet Angela somewhere at lunch, just kind of hash out some things we wanted to kind of try.
Are you volunteering your office?
Well, I was gonna say,
Are you buying lunch? I'll come.
you're more than welcome to come, but I'm running from Rochester to an appointment at my office at noon. I should be done about 1 though. That's my only hang up. But yeah, you're welcome to. We can meet there after that. I just have to be gone by 3 for track. So, but if you're willing to do it at 1, yeah, I'll have capacity then.
Let me check from mine.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to hold you up, but if you need more, whatever. Yeah. If you do, let me know. We could order food there. I don't care. So.
Awesome. I think that all the rest we've already discussed except the drone. He emailed
At me.
I'm looking at you for comfort.
Oh.
Just kidding.
I'm here for you. Do you want a hug?
He emailed me and said that he cannot do it for free anymore because of whoever he's working for. I don't know. He gave me a more detailed explanation, but he said the price would be super negotiable, and it's his hometown, so he'll do it for super cheap. But he can't.
What super cheap
Yeah.
means.
And I said, like, if you wanted to sponsor something too, like you sponsor the photo, like, I don't know, we could do some kind of trade-off. So he said he would be open to any of that, but I just wanted to make sure that we were good with me talking some numbers with him or trying to get him, like it will, if you will put your company's banner up, if you do it, I don't
Right.
know, something.
I would. I mean,
I think especially if we're going to be on
If we're going to be on
Van
Van
Dyke,
Dyke, I think we have
need
to.
aerial footage.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially if we're on Van Dyke, that would be the coolest thing ever. And yes, I think it's worth spending money on.
The original offer of free would be nice.
I
Right?
know.
I mean,
But-
I
That's
really liked free.
And I saw him in the
but-
post office the other day too, and he's like, I hope I didn't offend you. And I was like, no, I don't want to say yes, book it until I know for sure. And I didn't want, to tie you up.
We're not going to find anybody else do it for free. So there's going to be a cost. So
Yeah.
My 2 cents, find out what cheaper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
He does do good work. I mean,
He
for what we
does.
saw with, holidays. So
Yeah.
And he did holidays for free, right?
Yeah,
So
he
we got
didn't
our
charge us.
freebie.
Yeah.
In all
I mean, it was
fairness.
awesome. I
Right,
loved
it was.
the
It was
holiday
very
video.
good. Yep.
Yeah.
No complaints for sure.
Everything else I think is good to go.
And
Bands are great,
Booked and ready to go.
booked and ready, or production is
Did-
booked and ready.
did we lay out the contract so we know the timing so we don't get a bunch of complaints on when they're playing so we can make sure that's out there?
I don't think Family Tradition ever sent us
Did they never?
a new one.
We'll have to
They
reach
just we gave them the down payment
And asked for a
So,
contract, but
All right, well, let's dial that in.
Sunset Boulevards was easy. I don't.
All right, we'll
Yeah,
just
we'll get it.
make sure we
taken care of, but
publicize. We don't need any of that again this year.
right, no.
I can't believe there were complaints. I loved them.
All right, there's a drama
Somebody
everywhere.
always has something to complain about, so
Yes, there's drama
all we
everywhere.
can do is try to minimize.
Right.
So there's not 100 people yelling at me at this meeting.
Right?
Much refreshing.
When you come to a free show, damn it, I want it this way.
Right.
Right?
It's not like we charged.
Yeah.
I can see you complaining then.
So I have a question. Back when it was over where the dollar store is, I remember a dunk tank. Does anybody know
Can
where
we pay
that
to dunk the
came
chairman?
from? Because that would be a huge fundraiser for a group. If they could dunk, school administrators and
School board,
school board members.
Absolutely not.
can we dunk
DDA
parrots?
chairman.
I want to dunk parrots. Anyway.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet we could
Does
get a
Phase
ton
have
of.
it?
Huh?
Does Phase have it?
I was gonna text Liz. They used to have one. I don't know if they still do. I can ask her.
Yeah.
I can ask her right now.
So your town actually has a dunk tank there that's for rent.
Oh, really?
Okay.
So
Let's
they
get
actually
it.
display there about their phone number and everything.
Right. That'd be fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Can you nominate
Right.
people to be dunked?
Should
Oh,
do that
donation.
first. Donations. Whoever gets the most. That's what we did for the
Oh,
Kiss
yeah.
a Cow or whatever
Right.
during football season.
You make the minimum donation and go up from there.
Oh,
So.
Liz said no, they don't have one.
All right. Well,
Well, we're gonna get one.
yeah, find out. But yeah, I think that'd be a great one. Yeah. The top whatever donation getters get dunked. I like the idea.
Me too. It'll be during football season too, so maybe we could have we could take our little donation jars to the football games and have people donate.
And wasn't there an idea of something to attract, because that is a big football day, especially for home.
It's always youth sports.
Right. Didn't we talk about doing something like save well, they don't really give tickets for youth sports, but they were going to get a discount to make sure they
No, but we
showed up.
could do something for people that came in that day.
Whoa.
That's scary.
I don't know, just so because that's a captive audience, and for them to leave from there to come over, I don't know how many show up from there, but it would be
lot.
kind of nice, yeah.
Well, and if
If we had it advertised on both ends.
we're doing the busing from the schools to downtown, it would make it
Hopefully
even
we don't
more-
need to bus because
Say,
Van Dyke
hopefully.
will be shut down.
Right.
True,
But
Yeah.
I think the problem is there was never, and the last few years, I was like, why are we not? It's the same day. We're all right here. There's 100, the majority of the families with younger kids are there. why are we not like advertising Go Downtown? And I was told they asked to be advertised also for Heritage and that it never happened.
Supposed to be.
So I don't know.
Who? The youth league was supposed to get advertised?
The youth league like asked to be put on the schedule. Like we have games the same day. Does not matter, but maybe we can work together and
Fine.
get people
Yeah.
down after.
Right.
That'd
fine
be
by me.
awesome.
Yeah. What's going on, ma'am? Are you here for Heritage or for the DDA?
No, she's here for her village public hearing.
Oh,
Yeah, they have their public hearing.
oh,
Did you not
that's
read your
right.
email?
I did. Yes, I read my email.
Did you not read your reminder?
Right?
Yeah,
You
you
got a
know,
reminder?
I thought today was Thursday, so whatever.
It feels like it should be.
You got your contract. You're good. Come on. I got that done.
This has been a week for me.
Oh, well, you know. We know.
That's, besides open discussion, that's all I have. Everything is
Anybody else,
coming
questions,
on in,
thoughts,
so.
concerns? I think we're moving ahead. Good.
Besides the thing with groups, there's a lot of different sports teams that do fundraisers.
Yeah. So,
Other volunteer organizations that are ideas that they don't even have to come up with the idea.
Right.
Show up.
And to that point, the church might even need some help. I don't know. So, with what they're doing.
absolutely. I think, I don't know the best way off the top of my head to reach out to everyone, but if I can get some kind of, if I can get the businesses to say yes, like they would be open to it, and then reach out, I don't know, to athletic boosters, to music boosters, and I can get the schools to all put something, send something to all their coaches, whatever.
Right.
I can talk to the church. If anyone knows anyone else, names or addresses.
Oh.
Scouts and Boy
Girl
Scouts.
Yeah, Girl
But we,
Scouts,
but
Boy
we
Scouts.
also,
Cub
other than
Scouts.
that side, we're going to need help with other stuff. It's like sign people and flag people. I mean, so that's other capacities they could be using.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you need adults for
We need
that.
adults for that.
Yeah,
Adults that worked it last year.
especially if Van Dyke is not shut down, it's gonna be,
Correct.
Or come on a slant.
So Andy, remember Andy Pettis? He wants to be like in charge of the parking to establish.
yes, please.
It's fine.
He
He's a
never
commercial
called
guy.
me, by the way.
You're lucky.
All day I was like waiting.
Good dude, but you'll be on the phone for a long time. He is.
But yeah, he registered already.
Okay, good.
But he just, again, without knowing where it's at yet. Once we kind of get a better idea, then we can kind of look at how, like, I guess, check the cars in as more of a, basically we can kind of see the, that we can park, that line, that's where I have a huge line to get it in, but then at least they can kind of already know what they're getting parked, the classes and stuff, and you can kind of get them, like, started, I guess. That way we can kind of come up with, still have a better idea, kind of sound right there.
Speaking of checking in, did we verify with RCI that we got enough power there?
They said yes, and we can do a walkthrough when it warmed up. And they thought it was ideal. So hopefully Van Dyke gets shut down and we can.
Well, either way, I mean, we just keep Van Dyke open and shut down both sides of the street. So I know.
And I could be way cooler.
Oh yeah,
Be
of course
so
it would.
cool.
Of course it would.
Be awesome.
Make sure you get the registration.
Get us ready. Yeah. we'll get that. I think that's,
Oh, you know what? I should just put him down, shouldn't I?
yeah, I would just register him.
Yeah, I told him no charge, but I completely forgot to put him on the list.
It,
Yeah, so now we're at 60.
yeah, my 2 cents is any of the sponsors, if they're willing to do a car, we probably should no charge them.
Absolutely, yeah. Cool.
Heritage, unless anybody else has anything else or anything to add? Okay.
Are you gonna shut my YouTube live off? Oh.
It's everybody.
Come on. Yeah,
I'm
don't
not
touch that
touching it.
computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's us moving.
I know, where are we going to? Just hanging out back for a little bit?
Yeah, they only need like 15 minutes.
Right.
to go.
Well, I guess we could be here for it.
Yeah, I was just vacating my space.